Can the worst Desperado tier 5, the Blazing Sun, get 2 million pops? Yep, I'm actually gonna try, guys. Let's try and see if the top pad, the tier 5 Blazing Sun, which had an absolutely underwhelming launch, let's see if this guy can actually get to 2 million pops. Now, why am I attempting this? Well, because apparently this guy was not exactly functioning the way that they envisioned it at Ninja Kiwi, because in update 49.2, which actually happened a while back, but what they did is they fixed the Twin 6s, which is the tier 4 upgrade, where it now apparently it correctly doubles the burst rate of this tower. So essentially the bursts are a lot faster on a lot shorter intervals, and this means more attack speed, or I should say more damage in a way. It's a really funny tower because attack speed buffs don't exactly work that well on the top at Desperado as they would on other towers, because I don't think you can increase the attack speed like you would normally. I think you can just decrease the interval between shots, which is not as good, you know, as it is on other towers. Alright, so right off the get-go, we're facing some problems. Oh my god, is this even gonna work? I think we're gonna lose to this huge wave, so I think we probably need to start with the glues actually. Oh my god, this is not gonna work, is it? Let's get to 300 bucks and let's see if the stickier glue is gonna do anything. This guy can barely do damage. Oh, let's get the stickier glue now. I mean, it's gonna last for longer for sure. I'm just keeping him still on first. Not sure if that's the best idea, but honestly, maybe just target some blue balloons to just kind of, you know, make them into red so that they're a little bit slower and we buy ourselves a little bit more time. But no, I don't think this is gonna work, guys. Oh no. Alright, this is not happening. Yeah, let me just get a sub and then we're gonna submerge this layer. It's also gonna be some cheap camo detection, and yes, I did bring Geraldo, but we're gonna try and not use Geraldo as much because I know that you guys are not exactly fans of that. It's not exactly doing a lot of damage, it's still only 2, but once you upgrade to the Twin 6s, I think the damage goes up to 5 or 6 if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, it's not just attacking with 2 guns, but it's attacking, you know, with a lot more damage. So this is gonna be the most important upgrade that we need before the 40s. Oh no, our arch nemesis, just huge waves of blues. Yeah, we don't have the damage for this at all. I mean, maybe actually if we get the bullseye, maybe we crit, and then if the crit is one-shotting some of these yellows, then we might have a shot. I'm still keeping him strong, by the way. Am I tripping a little bit with that? Let's go back on first. Yeah, I think it's just way too many balloons. We could probably drop a glue from Geraldo, which I do want to do for these, I guess for the greens and the yellows. So as soon as the greens come near, let's go like this. Desperado is set on strong, the sub is set on first. Let's actually get both of them on strong. See if the pierce is gonna hold on the glue actually. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't for like these last 3 ones. I think the glue choice was good, but that was a very, very expensive solution because it's 160 bucks. Maybe we could have caught in a way with just like buying a small glue, but I think I'm gonna do that actually in the upcoming rounds. Alright, so what do we do for the lead balloons? Maybe this heat dip darts, keep this guy on strong. We're gonna need like a more permanent solution, but for now I think this is gonna do. Let's also submerge this sub. The Desperado is on strong, which I think is fine for now. Alright, what do you do on a round like 34? Unsubmerge the sub, keep both of them on strong. We have some zebras, so maybe just kind of try and reduce these zebras to as low of a balloon as possible. It's still a huge wave, don't get me wrong. Maybe we need to get some upgrades on the glue actually. Maybe get the splatter. Let's try and keep everyone like this for now. I see some red balloons, some greens on the other side, so let's switch at least the Desperado back to first while keeping the sub on strong. If things get dicey, I can move the sub as well, but it's looking like it's gonna be fine. I don't want to jinx it. It's still kind of messy, but I actually do think we have this one. This tier 4 upgrade cannot come any faster. Alright, so what are we doing for a round like 35 then? Let's keep this guy on strong. We're gonna have some rainbows, so if we can get some crits on those rainbows, that's gonna be great. Oh, here they come. Let's see what we can make happen with this thing. Oh, I think the sub is popping them into like pinks and stuff. Oh my god, I don't like this thing one bit. Let's move the Desperado back to first. I'm keeping the sub still on strong while kind of watching what's happening on like this second horizontal track. Okay, let's go back on first now with the sub as well. No, that's a huge wave. This glue is just not making up for it. Alright, if we buy the glue splatter and the stronger glue, is that gonna solve our problems? I don't know, but let's try. We spend a lot of cash, so if we want to get the Twin 6s before round 40, we cannot buy literally anything else before round 40. Let's try and get these stronger balloons to as weak of a version as possible so that when they get on the bottom tracks, like they're easy to snipe like that. So let's go back on strong again, and I'm just kind of monitoring the bottom track. Oh, go back on first. Yeah, I feel like this round is possible. It's just like super annoying. Like there's a yellow balloon which needs to get sniped. There we go. Oh my god, everyone is slowed down. Is this glue actually gonna do the thing? I can see a lot of balloons happening, but thankfully everyone is on the second horizontal track. Let me just speed things up for a second. Let's see how everything is gonna work out. Yeah, I think we have it. Oh my god, that is just so annoying. How's 36 gonna go now that I think about this one? one. This is just a huge wave of pink balloons. It's actually 3 huge waves of pink balloons. And how are these guys set? So first and first, both of them. I mean, let's just try it like this, and then if it doesn't work, we're gonna do something else, which is it's not working. Okay, what if we try and place a creepy idol? I was thinking maybe have the idol like this. The only thing that we need basically is to buy ourselves just a little bit of time, because this does look like it's possible with these 2 towers that we have. It's just kind of very close. All right, so now let's see how much of a difference this idol has made. I see some balloons on the bottom track which are making it through, and as long as we deal with the fast balloons like the yellows and the pinks, I think this round is pretty much over. Yeah, there we go, some pink balloons on the top track still. If we deal with these guys, the round is over. Yes, there we go. All right, so it was a creepy idol, but I still don't like playing the game like this because we're spending way too much money on side towers. All right, so let's try and buy the twin sixes before these reroll rainbows appear, which I think we might be able to do. It's getting kind of close. Actually, it's 6.2. I am spamming the button. Please let me buy them. Let me buy this thing, and I'm gonna set him to strong so he eliminates the rainbows as fast as possible. He does do a lot of damage, actually. Hopefully we dealt with the rerolls, because if we deal with the rerolls, then basically everything else is gonna be like a 2-shot for him, I think. And I think we did deal with the majority of them. Let's go back on first now. Yeah, there we go. That's about it. All right, so 3.2k pops into this guy. I think we can finally submerge it. And now with the twin sixes, how much easier is the game gonna become for us? Hopefully enough so that we can buy the blazing sun. Yeah, seeing how this strong is going, you guys won't mind if I use the hot sauce, right? Let's actually try not use it. We're kind of close to the blazing sun. If we beat this round, we should be able to get it, actually. Let's see if he's gonna be able to do it though. So he's leaving these ceramics into well, unless he crits, he's leaving them to green balloons, and we're kind of close, about 2.5k from it, but still a huge wave of green balloons. So how do we solve these greens is my question. He seems to be dealing with the big balloons. It's just that there are a lot of underlying balloons which are messing with him. All right, I'm actually gonna do it, guys. Let's use Jerry's fire. Yeah, I feel like we must use it on a tower and on a run like this, but something that I think we should do is we should probably switch this guy to strong so we deal with the stronger balloons and kind of let the Jerry's fire, you know, do its own thing. We're also gonna have some reroll rainbows, which I want these guys to get sniped as fast as possible, and then we're gonna move it to first if necessary. How's the money doing, by the way? 18.4. The money's almost there, guys. Yes, there we go. We clean out 49, and I think after this Jerry's fire ends, I don't think we're gonna be replenishing it anytime soon. So let's buy the blazing sun. This is gonna make the game so much easier. One of the things that it doesn't have actually is lead popping power still, I don't think. And now look at this guy do the whole thing by himself. I mean, he's just one-shotting ceramics. He doesn't care about mobs, and this is what he's good at. Like this mid-game, there's nothing in the mid-game that can surprise this guy. That's why I like him as a mid-game tower. I actually recently tried him versus a tier 1 boss, and he's surprisingly good. He's kind of similar to the elite defender. So yeah, if you guys are looking for an alternative for tier 1 bosses, this guy surely is one of them. Okay, so what's around that's gonna surprise this guy? I have a couple in mind. We should watch 63. We should also watch like these rounds with a lot of small balloons like 69 and 70, but other than that, I don't think this guy loses before free play starts. So let's see how he does versus 63. Oh, it's actually not even close. I mean, we do need to get rid of these lead balloons, so I'm gonna unsubmerge the sub and I'm gonna keep it on first. I'm also gonna have the blazing sun set on strong, so he's only focusing down the ceramics and the sub doesn't have enough time to break them apart into small balloons, because if that happens, that might create some issues for us. So there go the ceramics, and then a couple of lead balloons left, and after these guys pop, yeah, there we go, just submerge the sub back. There it is. We have $45,000. This guy is a mid-game specialist. He just doesn't lose. He's doing the thing that he's supposed to do pretty perfectly. So let's do some other stuff. Let's buy some other towers. First things first, and we need to do this a little bit earlier, but it's fine. I guess better late than never. I'm gonna buy, I guess, 2 discount villages, one like that, and then I guess, where's the other one gonna be? You guys know what? It actually doesn't matter. Let's have it like this. Let's give him a little bit of extra attack speed, and I'm gonna buy probably both of these top pad upgrades just for the extra range and nothing else, because the further the balloons are, I guess the more chance he has to crit, but also he attacks faster, so we want to make full use of that. And I was also thinking of getting a mid-pad Desperado in the ability. It's just that I have a little bit of a problem with that. So look at the range of an NG, look at the attack range of a Dark Monkey, and then look at the attack range of a base Desperado. Wherever I hide this guy, you know, behind these logs, I think it's still going to be able to do damage. It's kind of a risky thing, and I still don't want to buy it, and that's why we're just going to hold off for a second on that thing. I also need to buy this thing, the MIB, because because we want to get some Blood Power and the main attack as well. So we're sitting at $50,000 to round 82, and things are not looking that bad. I mean, it's just the start of free play so far, and the problem that we're having is basically these balloons are making it way too far before getting popped. So the way that we should be thinking about this is just getting the absolute zero, getting the bottom pad glue, and then honestly just getting a couple of sabos because we just want to slow these guys down and buy some time. So I really hope I didn't mess up the placement with Geraldo because I do want to have the ice right next to him. I think this is a great spot, but the ice can attack more up-class balloons if he sees them. So I'm just gonna buy it and take the risk like this. I'm gonna buy the top pad upgrades, and let's see if the ice attacks. It doesn't seem to be attacking, guys. There are a lot of mobs next to it. Nope, it's not attacking. That's the perfect spot. That's great. We also have our first more annoying ZOMGs on round 87 because it's gonna be 4 of them, and they're pretty ramped up. So it's probably gonna be time to buy the relentless glue. Get this guy back on first, and I think I'm gonna dump like one absolute zero ability just to slow everyone down and apply the permafrost effect onto these guys. Something I've been thinking about is the number of towers that we have left to buy for this game, and I think it's like 3 to 4 max, because here's what we can do. We basically need to be hiding these towers behind logs, right? So this is gonna be tower number 1, this is gonna be tower number 2, and then I think we can have like one more right here. If you have a tower like this behind this log on the left side, it's gonna be able to attack, and I think the same goes for this one. This one is kind of weird. How are the pops looking, by the way? We haven't checked in a while. This is like 70 pops on the ice. The Desperado is doing the thing. The glue is obviously at 0. Is Geraldo attacking a little bit? Nope, he's not, set at 0, and then the sub is at like 3,500. That's great. So we're up to round 90, and whatever we're doing, it seems to be working out. I mean, we're dealing with these DDTs, no problem. So for 95, I think we're gonna have a Machanka. We need to have at least one Sabo up and running. So let me just get on that, actually. Let's go like this. Let's buy the first Sabo behind this little log. And for 92, because we have a lot of 40 finds, let's use the Sabo, and then let's wait for these ZMGs to come out, and I'm gonna dump the absolute zero as well. The idea is that I just want to apply the permafrost effect to them, and also, if you guys are noticing, once the balloons go into like this aura radius of the absolute zero, even though it's behind the log, I think it still works on them, which is great. Let's do one more absolute zero, and yeah, these pops from the side towers might start adding up. I guess the ice is not attacking, so once we use the ability, it's like collecting a little bit of pops, so I guess this guy's gonna go up to like, what, 1,000 max? But this ninja, if it gets to attack a couple of times, it might get a little annoying. You look at how difficult these rounds are becoming right now, especially, you know, a round like this one, like 92. This is a beefy round for sure. Alright, so DDTs on 93. I think the DDTs are gonna be the most difficult part from this one, so as soon as they appear, I'm just gonna use the Sabo. I'm gonna set this guy back on strong, and there are not as many BFBs on this round, so just move it back to first, and I think that's gonna be it for 93. There's an interesting change happening in this specific update, which I don't know how to make a video on it, but it might be impactful in a round like this, and is that the Moab Glue's duration has been halved. I think it went from 24 to 12 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, this guy just needs to keep attacking the balloons so much more often, and the glue is not, you know, it's not lasting a long time, so that means there are going to be a lot of balloons that are just gonna go unglued. So I'm basically contemplating if we should be buying one more relentless glue. That's kind of where I'm getting with this thing. So far, we're gonna stay with one. We're 50k, but I'm purposely saving all this cash in case we need to buy some weird towers. But yeah, 94, not gonna be an issue, especially because there are no 40 fights on this one, so income's 95. Alright, so for this round, I think I'm gonna dump the Sabo a little bit earlier because we have a lot of small balloons, and I think we're gonna be rejuving, actually. What's Geraldo's level? He's level 18, so he is gonna restock the shop in like, what, like 3 rounds from now, something like that. Let's use the absolute zero because it's on a relatively short cooldown. How's everything looking? I think he got rid of the small balloons, but the DTs are still ongoing, so we're gonna have our absolute zero in a second, which I'm spamming the button, by the way. There we go. Alright, and this might buy a little bit of time for a second Sabo ability, but there are a lot of DTs. Get the relentless. Look at the relentless stun, by the way. Oh, look at the relentless stun. He's doing so much work. No, but it's not lasting. No, the nerves. Let's do one more absolute zero, and then a Sabo is up. Let's use the Sabo after this. Oh my god, a couple of DTs left, like 3 DTs, I think. Are we sniping all of them? We sniped the insides. Let's go back on strong, so we're dealing with some of these mobs at the top track. Let's go for another absolute zero. Still keeping this guy on strong, by the way, because we seem to be holding the small balloons in place, just trying and get as much out of this as possible. Getting back to first now. If we get one more absolute zero, we might have this one. This is getting super close, by the way. We're gonna get on our absolute zero. Let's use it, and let's go back on strong then. Oh my god, this is so close. I feel like this is so much doable, but I don't know, like another Sabo? This round is lasting for so long that we're getting like 3 Sabos out. That's ridiculous. Oh my god, no, snipe it, please. We're sniping it. We get the Absolute Zero, which I'm going to use right now. And then as soon as the Absolute Zero is out, I'm going to use the Sabo, which might not be necessary, but yes, we get rid of 95. Oh my god, what a round this was. I'm telling you guys, this is such a weird tower. Like, he's one-shotting the small balloons, so he's got the damage. He just doesn't have the time because he's just such a lousy attacker. I'm going to keep dumping both of these abilities. Let me just do a pop count check on the other towers. So 1.0, the ice is actually at 1.5k pops, alright. How much does the ninja have? The ninja's sitting at like 120. Okay, this guy's barely attacking anything. Yeah, it's kind of been smooth sailing for 96 because I'm just juggling both of these abilities. I'm doing the Absolute Zero, and then when the balloons get unfrozen, I'm just doing the Sabo. A little bit of downtime and then doing the same thing, but it seems to be working because this is the end of 96. And honestly, this is like my first try, so I haven't exactly, you know, struggled too much to beat 96. Let me not eat my words though, because the next 3 rounds are going to be the most difficult ones. 97 is pretty easy. I mean, he does a lot of single target damage, and it's only 2 ZMGs on this one, so we're dealing with this one no problem. But in comes the 3 most difficult rounds of this run. So let's start early with these abilities. We have 70k, I know, but we are only allowed to buy like 3 more towers onto this map, and the pops are sitting at 1.6, so as long as we deal with this round and obviously 99, I feel like round 100 shouldn't even be that bad, although I don't want to jinx it. Alright, so 98 is really not looking too hot. This round is basically 2 groups of balloons. It's fortified balloons and ZMGs. And as you guys can see, we still have not dealt with the fortifieds yet. I'm dumping both of these abilities. We do have the cash, it's just that it's simply not enough. So for our first run, I don't think we're gonna be beating this round actually, but we can buy some towers for a second one. Yeah, this is simply too late. We're just starting to work on the ZMGs. You guys can see some of these BFBs coming out of them, and there's still like, how much is that? Like at least 4 ZMGs, I think, at the back. 5. Oh my god, that's like 6. That's more like 6 ZMGs. No, that's not looking good, guys. I mean, I'm really trying with these abilities. I'm just exchanging them, so using them both left and right. We do have a rejuve if necessary. Actually, we should likely be rejuving because we're gonna refresh them on the next round. Actually gonna do that. The Sabo has expired, the Absolute Zero is lasting, so as soon as it expires, I'm gonna use the Sabo, and then once the Sabo expires, I'm gonna dump the Absolute Zero and I'm gonna refresh again. So I think it's coming to an end, so let's go like this and then do the refresh. As like 3 ZMGs left, I'm pretty sure, so let's do an Absolute Zero and then do the Sabo, and because the Absolute Zero is on a shorter cooldown, I think that's the way that you want to do it. So go like this now. No more rejuves left, unfortunately, but we do have an Absolute Zero, which I'm gonna dump it. That's like, is there like only 1 ZMG left? This is our first run, so I actually didn't expect, and I still don't expect this thing to work. I think we're gonna lose, but I would love to be proven wrong. Oh my god, is he actually gonna do it? Okay, this is gonna get really close at the end. We do have the Absolute Zero in case something leaks, so I'm really being patient with this ability, but only 2 BFBs left. We're actually gonna do it, guys. You know what? I'm gonna dump the Sabo now because we're gonna get a rejuve and we're gonna be using it for 99, and it's really close. It's so close, and he actually gets it done first try. That is ridiculous. Alright, so now we have some 45 DTs, so let's do the rejuve and then dump the Sabo again. Have this guy set on strong, so he's focusing down only the DDTs, and then we're gonna move him back to first. We can also dump the Absolute Zero actually, and then once the DDTs are popped, move him back to first because I see some ceramics in the horizontal tracks. Go like this and then use the Absolute Zero again. Oh my god, he's actually doing it. I mean, you guys know what, the early game was absolutely miserable, right? And just getting to a tier 4 was probably the most difficult part out of this run, and after that it was just kind of juggling abilities and maybe a little bit of targeting switch for sure, but honestly nothing too complicated because this guy seems to be just doing the thing by himself. He actually went over 2 million pops, and it's like not even close when you take a look at this thing. Like the threshold is like 2,042,000 pops, and he's really close. I mean, these Arthas have really not taken anything significant. He's gonna go really far. Oh my god, he actually did it. So there you have it, Blazing Sun, 2 megapops done. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.